Welcome to this explainer, everyone. Today, we're diving headfirst into Gemini Notebook. We're going to take what can honestly feel like a totally overwhelming platform at first glance, with all those buttons, columns, and endless export options, and transform it into your absolute ultimate productivity engine. By the time we wrap up here, you're going to see exactly how to master this whole thing. So let's jump right in. We all know the pain of information overload, right? And let's be real, we've all felt the frustration of general AI tools that confidently hallucinate facts right when you need absolute precision. Well, today, we're looking at a system that only speaks your specific truth. Just imagine an AI assistant that has essentially completely forgotten the rest of the internet, and instead only knows the exact documents, files, and links you place right in front of it. To make sense of this powerhouse of a tool, we're going to break it down into 4 simple parts. First, meeting your grounded AI. Second, chatting with your data. Third, checking out the Studio Asset Factory. And finally, we'll wrap with some advanced workflows. All right, part 1, meet your grounded AI and learn how to focus on exactly what matters. Let's start with the actual engine powering this whole tool. The absolute crucial point you need to understand is that your notebook is grounded. That's really the defining buzzword for this entire platform. Basically, it means the AI is locked into a single source of truth based entirely on what you upload. It deliberately turns a blind eye to its massive native training data and laser focuses only on the specific context you give it. And this is exactly why this tool is a total game changer compared to a standard chatbot. A general AI is out there constantly scanning the entire web, which, as we know, makes it super prone to making things up or pulling in totally irrelevant stuff. Gemini Notebook, on the other hand, strictly pulls from your uploaded sources. You are literally curating its brain. Because it's strictly analyzing your hand-picked information, the accuracy just absolutely skyrockets. So you might be wondering, what can you actually put into this engine? The answer is pretty much anything. You can feed it YouTube video links, random websites, pull straight from your Google Drive, or drop in local files like PDFs. In the source material we analyzed for this, the creator built a massive notebook entirely about starting a garden in Colorado. He fed the engine a YouTube video about tomato plants right alongside a highly specific local PDF document on vegetable cultivation. The engine just seamlessly ingests all those totally different formats and unifies them into one brain. Getting your engine up and running is incredibly easy. It's just a quick 3-step process. First, you create the notebook and upload those sources. Second, if you realize, oh wait, I'm missing some info, you don't even have to leave the app. You just use the built-in research tool to search the web and import new, reputable sources directly. And step 3, actually, this is where it gets really cool. You run the auto-label feature. The AI automatically groups your huge, unwieldy list of sources into clean, logical categories. So a messy list of, say, 20 gardening links automatically becomes these beautifully organized folders like soil, pests, or fruit cultivation. Moving right along to part 2, chatting with your data. It is time to start interrogating that information. Now we're looking at the dashboard. Visually, sure, this looks just like a regular chatbot, but functionally, you have total control here. You can ask really targeted questions, and not only will it give you a smart answer, but it instantly tells you exactly how many sources it used and lets you trace the citations back to the exact paragraph. You can even force the AI to temporarily ignore certain documents. Say you have 10 sources uploaded, but you only want an answer based on one specific PDF. You literally just uncheck the other sources, forcing the AI to strictly consider that single document. To see this in action, the creator in our source material asked his fully grounded gardening notebook, what are the easiest beginner vegetables to grow in Colorado? The AI instantly analyzed the uploaded guides, synthesized the dry climate conditions, and narrowed the vast, complicated world of gardening down to simple things like radishes and lettuce. And it perfectly cited its logic based only on the documents provided. No generalized web answers, just targeted, perfectly contextualized advice for his exact situation. All right, part 3, the Studio Asset Factory. Let's see how to actually transform your data into something new. Welcome to the right side of the interface, what we call the Asset Factory. Gemini Notebook currently offers 9 incredible ways to export your knowledge base. You've got audio and video overviews, visuals like full slide decks and infographics, and deep study aids like customized flashcards and quizzes. You aren't just sitting there reading your data anymore. You are actually generating cinematic videos and comprehensive reports from it with literally a single click. Okay, for the audio overviews specifically, this feature is completely mind-blowing. It generates this super lively, multi-host AI podcast discussing your sources. But, and here is the crazy part, if you click the little waving hand icon in the app to activate interactive mode, you can literally interrupt the AI podcast hosts while they are speaking. You can argue with them, tell them they're totally exaggerating a point about tomato plants, ask for clarification, and they will dynamically respond to you in real time. It completely redefines how you consume audio. The factory is also incredibly smart about its visual outputs. When you generate a slide deck, you don't just get a generic, boring set of slides. It cleverly asks you to choose your format. It understands the fundamental difference between a detailed deck, the kind that has heavy text meant to be passed around and read like a standalone document, and a presenter deck, which is visually sparse, intentionally leaving information out so that you, the live speaker, can actually present without just reading off the screen. And speaking of visuals, the infographics generation is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't just pump out those hyper-realistic, weirdly generated AI images. It creates highly structured, text-rich infographics designed specifically to convey your complex data. And to make learning fun, it offers really engaging visual styles. Everything from structured sketch notes to the super cute Japanese kawaii style. Because honestly, who wouldn't want their dry financial data delivered by a blushing cartoon character? You just pick your orientation, choose your detail level, and the factory does the rest. Now, for students, or honestly anyone trying to master a complex subject, the study assets create this unparalleled, perfectly tailored learning loop. Check this out. Step 1, you generate a flashcard deck based on your class notes. Step 2, you take the interactive quiz, and the system actually tracks your performance. Step 3, it gives you a report revealing your weak spots. So let's say you failed the questions on mountain soil chemistry. With one click, it automatically generates a brand new set of flashcards targeting only the exact subjects you struggled with. It's brilliant. Finally, part 4, advanced workflows and ecosystem integration. Let's zoom out for a second to see how all this fits into your broader digital ecosystem. In our source material, the creator built a completely different kind of notebook. Instead of just doing web research, he uploaded his own personal 2023 to 2025 expense files, his private financial goal documents, and a shared Google Drive document containing his family's travel ideas. By doing this, he shifted the tool from a simple research assistant into a highly personalized, completely private financial analyst. And here is where it gets incredibly powerful. Behind the scenes, each notebook utilizes its own private cloud computer. This means it can perform really complex, multi-step tasks for you. You can go into the chat and simply ask it to summarize 3 years of messy CSV expense files. It won't just give you a text summary back. It can directly output a perfectly categorized, instantly downloadable pie chart image right there in the chat window, ready for you to save. Furthermore, this entire system plays perfectly with Google Drive. Remember that shared family travel ideas document we mentioned? Because it was imported directly from Drive, it features live sync. So if a family member opens that Google Doc on their own computer and adds a new trip idea to Italy, your Gemini notebook automatically syncs that new information into its engine. You never have to delete the old file and re-upload a new one. Your notebook's brain is just always perfectly up to date. So, we've definitely covered a lot of ground today. You now understand exactly how to feed the engine with your specific sources, how to interrogate that data using the chat dashboard, and how to leverage the Studio Factory to spin that data into slide decks, podcasts, and study guides. The only limit, truly, is the data you choose to feed it. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. With an AI engine locked precisely to your own truth, what will you build in your first notebook? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy building.